Ooh, instantly. Okay, that is definitely the trench. Good morning, depending on where you live in the world. You are watching Scorching. We just got a bite. If you're just tuning in, we are continuing to fish for different types of carp over here in the Lesni Vila fishery in Czech Republic. And right now it's not going well, but this is the continuation of the backbone of the last video where I was trying the same thing. We are float fishing for the carps. Basically, there is a mirror carp, there is a common carp, a Prussian carp, though that one has a trophy under its wing, and a trench, and another fish, I can't remember. But basically, we're carp fishing at this point. Now, my downside to all of this is I don't have bottom gear, so I can't fish off the bottom. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out the techniques and forms of trying to float fish for these things. It's not working too well so far. We've obviously just caught one since the video released, but we still have some progress to do. We are currently in peak time according to the fish time and day chart, and still no luck. But yeah, we're sitting here trying to catch these carp, and we are using a size 2 hook, so hopefully that will help. Maybe we can leave the lake and come back, but I'm really hoping I can do everything with the float fishing because I don't want to get a bottom feeder yet, especially since I don't have the level requirement for the rod case holder to hold an additional rod. I don't really want to get rid of one rod to go to another rod, but this might be the case where I need to do that. And I think the exploration missions, I think number 3 is number 2 is the last one. For right now, we're just trying to catch these and get them out of the way. It's pretty much like a completionist feeling to me, and it's just nice. It feels good to complete a whole lake where you don't have to come back and you can just mark the locations of where they were found or where you caught them. Hopefully we can get something. I'm still trying to figure out where the drop-off point is. So far we've discovered that 70 is the tip of the iceberg. Maybe we can get it lower. Wait, 70 to 66 kind of deal, where that drop-off point starts. If we had bigger bait, we can chuck that out there, but we don't have that. So, and none of these carp like lures, so we can't even do that option. So it's just a hard one to do. Just perch jumping out there. The only downside to all this is the wait time. It takes forever. Again, we're not bottom fishing, so it wouldn't be this long, but we also are using a size 2 hook, so we're hoping to eliminate the roach that comes through. There is I think it's a common roach that will get attached to this bait that I'm using, which is the bread and honey. So I'm trying to eliminate other fish that will bite this, so you get a bigger hook on there. You're more prone to catch carp. I guess prone is a good word, but for right now, you want to use the hook that's going to be a good size. And right now, from my experience on mobile, the 1 and 2 size hooks are the best. It eliminates all those. And as you can hear the ting kicking off, that's a bite coming from a fish, but it can't grip the hook. So it's just nibbling at the bread and honey that's down bottom, floating. At least in my time right now, if it's dinner time for you guys, get a bite to eat. It's like a long waiting game. This is normally when you go out to like a fast food chain or something that's nearby to the lake that you're fishing in real life and just go out and grab something to eat, or maybe take a lunch with you or dinner, depending on how long you're fishing. Normally carp fishing, you're doing it around midday. You could do it at night too, but I find it something tedious where you're just going to sit there and wait for something to bite. Can't guarantee that it's going to happen instantly either. So definitely make sure you're getting hydration going and probably something to eat, because this is crazy. I feel like I'm in real life fishing for carp. I can't say I caught a carp, but
My dad and I were at a river.
And basically, the fish that I caught was a pretty big catfish. Don't know the type of the catfish, because obviously I was really young at that point. But my dad and I were at a river, and we just let our lines go, pretty much. We casted it as far as we could, trying not to hit anything. We couldn't get it out far enough, but we just let him sit in the water. We had sinkers and all that. We weren't really trying for anything big. I really don't know what our intentions were, because I didn't set the tackle up, but we casted 2 rods and reels into the water, and I came up with a catfish that was on my rod, because at the time I didn't know how to set up my stuff and everything. And my dad threw his out. He got something, so we were both reeling fish in. We didn't expect it either. Apparently the tide was coming in at the river, and I ended up catching a catfish, like I mentioned, and he ended up catching a carp. So 2 different species of fish, both bottom feeders, I could tell you that much. This, I think, was on worms, night crawlers to be exact. Like I said, definitely not expecting. I guess the tide brought them in, which is considered peak time at this game. I haven't really hit any rivers except for the one river that's called the Mud River. I don't know if that the tide table actually has an effect on this game, but for some reason that brought back memories. When we go to that river, you'll see it. It's exactly the way it was, except this one had a bridge. And if you're familiar with Jersey's waters, they have the Delaware River Bridge. Well, actually no, they don't have the Delaware Bridge. The river is the Delaware, but there's many bridges that cross the Delaware. So I guess that's the way of looking at it. It was crazy. 2 big fish on unexpected tackle, apparently bottom feeding. I have no idea what for, but we both had, oh crap, we both had big fish on our lines pretty much. Okay, so this is taking a lot of drag. This is, you see how it's running? Like I have to do this to stop it. So I have to jerk back in order to stop the fish from running faster and running away from my line. So I'm still getting, I can reel. I want to hold the fish up. It doesn't look like I need to go any higher on the drag. Okay, I do, because it wants to go higher. And that's how you can fight the fish. So it's trying to run out. And it is running out, to be honest. So I'm going to go higher on the drag. And it should resist that fish from going further. It pulls it back towards me. And obviously if you have higher line test, it puts up less of a fight. Okay, so we got to go higher. Oh my gosh. So now it should stop running away. Oh yes! We caught the mirror. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. It's right here. Common carp, trench, and mirror carp was the other one. Wow. Okay, we caught the mirror carp. Okay, so now the next one is the common carp. And I think we got all the... Oh, we didn't catch the trophy Prussian carp. So I guess just the common. We'll reel it back to 70, because I think that's where it was. Was it 70 or 80? I don't remember. I think we'll keep it right there. Actually, let's reel this in. Since there is no different tier of that fish, I will mark it in case someone needs a reference on it. And it's, oh, okay, so it was like right on it, like exactly like I said, right on the tip. And we can now cast to that spot. And if you remember me mentioning it on the previous episode, the same exact location is where I caught pretty much the other 2 fish. So let's see if we can get the rest of the other fish. Now, the other thing is, when I was doing the bottom feeding, I was also alternating between, I think, dough balls and bread and honey. So I have a feeling I may have to do that same thing for the Prussian carp, because there's a trophy attached to it. But other than that, once we catch these 2, and I think the trench was a worm bait that I had to use. Once we get that going, we've completed this area. The good thing is, since I have the number 2 hook on there, I might be speeding up this process, because normally you would sit here and try to catch as much as you can of the fish. Hopefully get lucky, but I don't know. We'll see. I do know there is a time period for these bites, so it's just taking a little bit extra that we shouldn't have to do. And that's where the rod holder comes in handy, with 2 rods instead of 1, and doing bottom fishing. At some point we'll probably come back. Maybe there will be some kind of a tournament as I'm looking down bottom. Looks like someone will be doing a tournament for this stuff. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'll host one if I get to that point and I figure out how to do it. Right now we wait. Let's see if we can reel a little bit here. It's not balanced. So it looks like we just found the slope that I mentioned earlier, where it was on the point of the of where I caught that fish. So hopefully the maximum leader of the distance between the bait and the hook has put a good spot for the bread and honey to be at. But that bobber is freaking out, man. There's either something playing with it, or it's just having fun with that channel that's down bottom. It's crazy. Alright, now let's see if this is actually going to be a solid bite. It's just not a tink. It should stop bopping like that. It should end up going underwater if it is a bite. Or crazy all over the screen like you've been seeing it, if you've been watching the floating series of it. But I feel like I'm going all raw with this float. Try to do as much as I can with the floater. And I think there's a perch jumping over by the bobber. I'm trying to figure out what that is. It had an orange tone to it. So I'm wondering if it's the perch. That's cool, but if it's a little mirror carp, I'm actually interested if that's where we should be casting. But I can't seem to get it. The only way to get it is to pause frame on the game, but you can't even do that. At least that I'm aware of. Hello, dragonfly. It's such a pretty dragonfly, actually. Blue and green are my colors. Oh, got another bite. Oh, that's a bite. That bobber leveled. That is a bite. It is starting to... Oh. There it is. Pull that thing to shine. Oh my gosh. Did we get another carp? Oh my gosh. So I'm trying to fight it. I have to keep going with, see now the resistance. I hit, see the drag size? That's going to be my key to stop it. So it's not going to go any further. Now it's just going to run towards me. So you see it's in the orange now. If I pull it back, now you're going to fight me. And it should jump out of the water. I can look at it straight too and do this. When you start hearing the drag go like that, that's when you pull it back. Now see, it's got the energy. It's going to go. So I could go up to the next tier. It should do that. Now if you left it at a lower tier, good luck. You're going to have fun with trying to fight this fish. Okay, so this one is definitely a bigger one. I don't remember if the mirror carp is that big. That's how you can tell when you caught a bigger fish. If it's doing the same exact stuff that you caught previously. But this is either a bigger mirror carp or this is a different species. And it's the other one. Look at that beast. We caught that carp. Wow, that is crazy. On a floating rod. I'm glad I upgraded that. The 4-pounder floating test rod would have not held up to that. So, again, I caught the carp. We're going to mark the location. Same exact location. So you don't even need to go out any further. And that is, I'm assuming, that's going to be the floater's technique if you're doing a float fishing and you decided to not use the bottom feeder. Granted, keep in mind it's this day one's peak where it's got a peak and then it's got to flow to the next peak. And it's not that big of a dip either, like the nighttime shift. So now we got that. Let's transition over to the Tretch. Actually, let's try to get the Prussian Carp. So we need, we can still use bread with honey, or we can use dough balls. Let's try the dough balls. See if we can get that carp on dough balls. Same distance. It looks like it went straight down. I'm going to reel it in just a bit until I see the bobber start to not look vertical. So it's kind of vertical. Yeah, it's kind of vertical, but it's getting ready to go on its side. So if I reel it in another 2 feet, it's going to look like that. And that's what I've been catching them on. What the heck was that? This person's going to be like, what the heck are you using? You're using a floater. I'm actually going to decrease my reel speed. I'm going to let some slack out. This person's probably like, what the heck are you doing? Oh, we got to take her. You increase that reel speed again. Because we're going to be reeling this guy in. Now, I'm not sure if this is a hot spot for me to catch these or this is just luck. But I do know with the changing of the hook size, it helps eliminate the extra species of fish that you're going to end up attracting with that specific bait that's meant for other species too. So if you're trying to isolate it to one, you just change the hook size. I know what's going on with this person. So if you're interested to know what's going on with this person's casting, let me be the first to tell you that I knew that they were gonna leave. What happens is if you don't have the right tackle equipment, it tells you that your casting may be short. And just like what you just saw, the cast will only go out maybe to the tip of, maybe to a little bit before the tip of my rod. So you gotta pay attention to that stuff. And that's what I used to do a lot back then. I'm like, it seems about right. Why won't it work? And that's when you have to read. That's funny. I caught that on film. Don't be that person. I mean, if you want to be that person, then that's fine. But know what you're using. And they're probably mad because they had to go. They tried to go to the shop, and it wasn't working because the equipment that they had from the tackle that they were using is not compatible with anything from the shop that's in the Lesni Vila shop. Oh, that was great. We'll probably see that person back. Okay, now we're actually, oh my gosh, we got a really good bite on that. This might be the carp. Yes! But it's not the trophy. Oh my gosh. Oh, I had a personal record and I thought it was the trophy. Oh, that irks me. Bring it back to 70 and try it again. Let's let some slack out. So people think I'm fishing over here. That's my honey spot. I also just realized something. We're doing this completion of Vila Exploration, and once we complete this, if I was to equip the worm, we're going to end up getting a bass jig. How does that make sense when there's not a single bass inside this lake? So basically you come to this lake to get a reward from a mission, and you end up being able to use that in another location. Why wouldn't you just assign it to a specific location? I think that the way that they thought about this, which is actually kind of smart based on the levels of the lakes, it's pretty interesting to see. I kind of like that. But again, there's no bass in this lake. So hopefully you don't get confused with that and use the rewards to your advantage, because it seems like that's the pattern it's going in. Now, if you get the other rewards from completing other side things, that's a different story. But just note that pay attention to the missions, because they do get you started and in the right track. And then eventually when you have to resort back to tournaments or things like that, you might need certain things for certain areas. So just keep that eye peeled. Oh my gosh. What do we got? Is this the last fish? Is this the trophy? Hey, there it is. So hook number 2 got me the trophy. And that is the end of the carps. The last one we need is the trench. Yeah, so we just need the trench. So let's see if we can catch it on the red worms. Actually, we could mark that fish, the trophy that we just got. Oh, we're gonna need more buoys. We're gonna need to buy more buoys, so I'm gonna show you guys how to buy more buoys real quick. So go to services, and actually this is a great deal. I'm gonna buy 7, but this would be your best go-to. Let's just get 4. Later on we'll get more if we unlock more. And now let's switch over to the red worms. Keeping the size 2 hook, and let's see if we can catch a trench in the same area. Which would definitely be interesting, let's see. Oh, instantly. Okay, that is definitely the trench. If not, it's something different. I was not expecting that. Yep, there it is. Bing, bang, boom, all in one. Okay, well, we completed the mission and we got our bass jig reward, and that is going to conclude all fish for the Lesni Lake. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed watching me catch all those. It was definitely a time-consuming thing. It looks like it took 42 minutes to complete the carp challenge. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe if you want, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.